Hello and welcome, genties and ladlemen. It is in fact your boy Draw for Death Metal here, and today I'm at you with another Yu-Gi-Oh product review, and today we're going to be looking at the new Chronicles deck, Spirit Charmers, all foil edition. Just like the previous Chronicles deck, it takes a theme from the recent Yu-Gi-Oh Chronicles card game shorts and makes a structure deck out of it. Just like the last one, there's going to be 2 brand new cards that we have never seen before, 4 alternate art variants of cards that we have seen before, as well as the entire deck being an ultra rare printing with 1 secret rare of one of the 6 cards that I previously mentioned, as well as a small chance for that secret rare to be upgraded into a Starlight rare. So let's get into it. Okay, so to start off with, this one is based on the Spirit Charmers archetype, which is an archetype of spellcasters, because I can speak good English. An archetype of spellcasters that rely on maximizing the amount of attributes that are on the field and in your graveyard to get really devastating effects, as well as boost their monsters insanely high. Let's have a look at the track list, thinking about music. The card list here, you can't really see it because this camera's butt cheeks. But so we've got pretty much an entire extra deck here. But let's crack this open and have a gander, shall we? Open it from the bottom, it's a bit easier than try to pull it off from the top. Let's have a look at our secret rare. It's one of the new cards, which is Charmers of the Grand Circle. This is a new fusion. We'll get into that in a moment. Also comes with the game mat, but literally nobody cares about the game mat. And this weird, awkward paper packaging again. Let's wire in, shall we? So like I said earlier, everything in this deck is going to be ultra rare with the exception of that secret rare. So let's have a look and see what we got here. Area the Water Charmer. I do believe there's going to be alt arts of the 4 Spirit Charmers. I'm not entirely sure, but there's Area the Water Charmer, Heaty the Fire Charmer, Win the Wind Charmer, also the Earth Charmer, Familiar Possessed Area, Familiar Possessed Hita, Familiar Possessed Win, and Ossa. And then we have the Channelers, which are their upgraded counterparts, the Water Channeler, the Fire Channeler, the Wind Channeler, the Earth Charmer, as well as some attribute support as well. We've got in Gigabyte. Control a spellcaster, you can special summon it from the hand, which destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard. You can special summon a monster with 1500 attack and 200 defense, so that counts towards these other ones like Inari Fire, which same again. Control a spellcaster monster, you can special summon it from your hand. Once per turn during your next standby phase after it's destroyed by card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon it, so it's got some recursion there. Ranryu as well, same again, you can special summon it. You have to target one monster with 1500 attack, 200 defense in your grave, except Ranryu. Special summon it. Nefarious Archfiend, Eater of Nefariousness, which is a dumb as fuck name, but you know, it's fun. If you control a spellcaster monster, special summon it. Once per turn during the end phase, if this card's in your graveyard, you can target a face-up monster you control, destroy it, and then special summon this card. Alright, kinda neat. Awakening of the Possessed Gagigobite. Special summon this card from your hand or deck by sending a face-up spellcaster monster and a face-up level 4 or lower water monster you control to the graveyard. You can use only each of the following effects once per turn. When it's special summoned by its effect, you can send a random card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard, so that's pretty neat. And then each player draws a card. Not so neat. You don't really want to be giving your opponent any kind of advantage, but you're just hoping they draw into something butt cheeks. And if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add a spiritual water art or possess spell or trap from deck to hand, so it's got some search in there. That's pretty neat. Awakening the Possessed Greater Inari Fire. You can special summon this card from your hand or deck by sending a face-up spellcaster monster and level 4 lower fire monster you control to the grave. Use only each of the following effects once per turn. When this card is special summoned by its own effect, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack of one monster they control, which we get to choose. And if it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add a Spectral Fire art card or possess spell trap from your deck to your hand. So that's pretty neat. Same thing again as the previous Awakening the Possessed cards, but when this one's special summoned by its effect, you can return a card your opponent controls to the hand, and then same again, you can get a possessed spell card, possessed spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Awakening the Possessed Nefarious or Archfiend. When this one's special summoned by its effect, you can special summon one level 4 lower monster from your graveyard but negate its effects. And then when it's sent field to grave like the last ones, you can add a spiritual attribute card or a possessed spell or trap, so that's pretty cool. We've got some reprints in here as well. We've got Lord of the Heavenly Prison. I know that the Odeon deck's been making use of this one, so that's pretty neat. Got some Horus reprints apparently, which is really good for milling. And definitely, this is the main reason why I bought this, is because of the Horus reprints and a beautiful ultra rare as well. So that's neat. So we've got Seti, we've got Dumatif, Happy, Kibisnif, got Fairy Tale Luna, just more spellcaster support, same with the Spellbook of Prophecy. We have another new card here, I think this is the second of the new cards, Spellbook of the Grand Circle. Add four Charmer monsters with different attributes from your deck, graveyard, or banishment to your hand, which is mental. And then shuffle 2 cards from your hand into the deck, and then you can banish it from the graveyard. Fusion summon a fusion monster from your extra deck using Charmer or familiar possessed monsters from your hand or field. Also, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects when the monster is fusion summoned with this effect or this way. That's wild, because not only does it give you 4, shuffle 2 duds back into the deck, you can banish it, get a fusion summon, and that fusion summon, when that monster is summoned, you can't do anything. Mental. Got the Spirit Charmers card, discard a card, take 2 cards from your deck with different names from each other. Our Charmer monsters, familiar possessed monsters, and or possessed spell traps. Add 1 from your deck to your hand and set the other. Really, really good. Grand Spiritual Art Issuing. Negate your opponent's first monster effect that resolves each turn while you control a spellcaster monster with 1500 defense, so any of your Charmer or Channeler monsters, any of them work with this card. During your main phase, you can reveal a spellcaster monster from your hand, add a monster with the same attribute but a different name, with the same attribute with a 1500 attack and 200 defense from your deck to your hand, and if you do, shuffle the reveal card into the deck. Awakening the Possessed, a continuous spell. They gain 300 attack for each attribute you control, so you want to get pretty much 1 of every attribute to really buff your monsters to high fuck. It's going to be incredible. A spellcaster monster. Hold on, skip one. Charmer and familiar possessed monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects, which is very, very cool. A spellcaster monster with 1850 original attack is normal special summon to your field, and you get to draw a card. That's pretty cool. Spellbook of Secrets adds with the spellbook cards. Spellbook of Knowledge. Magical Eyes Fusion, so this is another way of getting the fusion monster that we just seen earlier out. Fusion summon a spellcaster fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing its materials from your field or graveyard. So that's pretty neat. Dark Rule No More, another really, really good reprint here. Really, really good to see this. Negates the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent controls till the end of the turn. Your opponent takes no damage, and nobody can activate monster effects in response to this card's activation. This card is very quickly becoming part of the new meta. It's all about just shutting down your opponent's field. Board breaking seems to be a lot more popular than hand traps in a lot of decks these days. And it's definitely something that me personally I prefer playing. I can just shut down my opponent's fucking field immediately. Really, really cool. So with Luna, can target a monster you control or a monster your opponent controls. Apply the following effect based on the battle position. If it's face up, change it to face down. If it's face down, change it to face up. Alright, not great. King Sarcophagus works with the Horus cards. Horus monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects that don't target, which is what a lot of card effects do these days. Then you can send one card from your hand to the graveyard to send a horse monster from your deck to your graveyard, which that's when they trigger their effects to summon themselves. That's really neat. And then at the start of the damage step, if your Horus monster battles an opponent's monster, you can send that monster to your graveyard. Alright, we're on to traps. So we've got Possessed Partnership. Special summon a spellcaster monster with 1500 attack from your hand or grave in attack position or face down defense position. Then, if you control monsters with 2 or more different attributes, you can destroy a face-up card in the field. You banish this card from your graveyard, target a possessed continuous spell trap in your graveyard and place it face-up in your field. So that's kind of neat. Speaking of possessed, we've got unpossessed. Charmer monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. So basically, if you have... Where is it? The Awakening of the Possessed and Unpossessed, your cards are now indestructible. So it's really good to get both of them in the field. What I'll also do after I unbox this, I've got another 2 copies here with me. I'm going to make a 3-up structure deck using what we've got, hopefully anyway. And I'll show you the secrets or maybe starlights that I get with the other 2. So anyway, if a monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, while this card is already face up in the spell or trap card zone, get the special summon a spellcaster with 1500 defense from your deck whose attribute is different from at least one of those destroyed monsters' original attributes in the field, in attack position or face down defense position. So that's neat. Angel Statue, Azurine. I know that a lot of Odeon players are definitely wanting this card because trap monsters are really good. Okay, that special summon this card as an effect monster, which is very light, level 4, 1800 attack, 1800 defense. It's also still a trap. Once per turn, when your opponent special summon a monster with this card's in your monster zone, send to the graveyard a continuous trap in your monster zone, a special summon from the spell trap card zone, negate the summon and destroy the monster. When this card in the monster zone is destroyed by battle, you can destroy the monster that destroyed this card. So that's neat. Up next, we've got the extra deck. So this is the secret rare that we got, the Charmers of the Grand Circle. It takes 2+ Charmer or Familiar Possessed monsters. If it's fusion summoned, you can activate this effect for each of the different original attributes used for its fusion summon, which is a maximum of 4. You can apply one effect from this list. You can choose the same effect more than once. Resolve each before choosing again. So you can choose from one of the 4 effects or you can stack them. This card gains 800 attack, mental, so you could just stack that 4 times, which would give you 3200 more attack. Fucking insane. Get search a possessed spell trap from deck to hand, return a card in the field from the hand, and then special summon a spellcaster monster from the grave. You can only use this effect of Charmer of the Grand Circle once per turn. So this could be really, really good for this deck anyway. I don't see it making huge waves like in the meta anyway, but I definitely think that this could this is definitely a big power boost for the deck, and it needed it, because I'm not gonna lie, Charmers haven't really been my favorite. When I played with somebody that I used to play with, they played this deck and they were able to work with it pretty good, but yeah, it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite kind of play style. I mainly got this deck for the reprints, but the new cards for this deck definitely give it a lot of help anyway. So what else do we have in the extra deck? We've got the links, we've got Area of the Water Charmer Gentle, Heat the Fire Charmer Ablaze. I use this in my Fire Kings deck. Wind the Wind Charmer Verdant. Also the Earth Charmer Immovable. Got Quintet Magician as well, which this one's just really fun to use. Uses 5 spellcaster monsters, which is very easy to come by in this deck. Must be fusion summoned, and if it's fusion summoned using 5 spellcaster monsters with different names, you can nuke your opponent's board. Insane! You can just nuke your opponent's board. That's fucking cool. You can destroy all cards your opponent controls. This face-up card in the field cannot be tributed or used as a fusion material, and it cannot be destroyed by card effects. Mental. Zombie Vampire, really good reprint. 2+ level 8 monsters. Silahat Rabbit, same again, another really good reprint as well. Then we've got Celine, Queen of the Master Magicians. Nice good link 3, and Access Code Talker link 4. So that's really neat. Overall, again, it's pretty good for its archetype. It's again not my favorite archetype, but overall, I'm liking what they're doing with these Chronicles decks. They're definitely a big improvement over the structure decks. Be interesting to see what other archetypes that they thingy with this Chronicles card game series. But again, overall, Charmers have never really been my favourite. This is still a really good structure deck for those that care. It's got all the best Charmer cards. The 2 new cards are insane, the Fusion Spell and the new Fusion Monster. Overall, I definitely recommend it if you're a fan of this archetype or just want the reprints like me. Horus Monsters, the Zombie Vampire, Silhouette Rabbit. Just really good reprints. But yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open 3 of these and we're going to put together what I think would be a really good structure deck for them. So yeah, see you in a bit. Okay, so before we get into the 3 of structure deck, I've got my secret rares here, which include another copy of Charmers of the Grand Circle and the Wind Charmer. No Starlights for me, but that's just how it goes, isn't it? So in terms of this 3 of structure deck, I have kept everything mainly pure Spirit Charmers, just for showing how the Spirit Charmers are completely by themselves. But I have thrown in the copies of Dark Ruler No More just because it's too good a card to leave out. It's way too good a card to leave out. So we'll start off with 1 each of the Channelers, which are the level 5 ones. And then 2 of the familiar, 2 each of the familiar possessed ones. Just because they're all level 4s, they're normal summons, that kind of thing. It's good to have normal summons so that way you don't brick on the first turn. Otherwise, if you've got a bunch of stuff that you can't really use, then you're just kind of cooked. And we've got 1 each of the level 3 Charmers, just because again they're not really that great in their own. They just, if it's flip face up, you can target the attribute that it is and take control of that monster that your opponent controls, so that's kind of neat. And then we've got the Awakening of the Possessed, the level 5 ones. I've only got 1 each of them in this deck because it's a bit of a brick to draw for the most part. Mainly because you need a spellcaster monster and a face-up level 4 lower water monster to send to the graveyard to special summon them, so you'd be better off just kind of keeping them in your deck and having more of the level 4 lower ones to summon. Speaking of the level 4 lower ones, we've got Gigabyte and Arifire, Ran Ryu, and the Archfiend. One of them to act as those level 4s as well. For spells and traps, we have got 3 copies of Dark Ruler No More because it's Dark Ruler No More. It's too good a card to pass up, in my opinion anyway. It negates all your opponent's monsters' effects in the field, will stop them from sabotaging any of your plays and allow you to get your board set up a little bit better. Up next we have got 3 copies of the Spellbook of the Grand Circle, the new spell card, again because it gets you 4 and then shuffles back 2. That's actually wild, and it doesn't need to be from the ones that you picked. And then we've got 2 copies of Magical Eyes Fusion, so that way we can get out either the Circle Charmers of the Grand Circle or the Quintet Magician as well. And that's the same, so there's that. And then I've got 3 copies of the Awakening of the Possessed, simply because it gives them attack and then they can't be destroyed by card effects, which can be really pesky to deal with. And that's the same reason why I have 3 copies of the Grand Spiritual Art Ishirin, because don't need that yet. because it negates the first monster effect, so it's like a little mini Dark Ruler No More type deal, which is very, very handy to have. That's why I play 3 of them, in case the opponent does some fuck shit, which you never know will happen. And then lastly, I will add in 3 copies of Spirit Charmer spell card. Gets to add one and then set one, so it could set your traps, could set another one of the spell cards. So yeah, there's that. And then for the traps, I play 2 copies of Unpossessed, because it gives it battle immunity mainly, and also 1 copy of Possessed Partnerships. And for the extra deck, we are running, just get that tiny again. Now this setup looks really weird. I'm in a hotel room for Dead of Winterfest, which the vlog for this will either be out or be in the process of coming out. So I definitely hope you check that out, because Dead of Winterfest is fucking class. For the extra deck, we are running mainly the links, but we've also got 2 copies of Charmers of the Grand Circle, because its effect is ridiculous. Depending on how many different attributes you get, you can stack effects, which is something that I don't think I've ever seen with any card, because it's usually you can only use that effect once that turn type deal, but that's wild to me, having the ability to stack multiple effects at once. I also have Quintet Magician as well, to be kind of a big boss, and it's likely that all the cards you're going to be using, spellcasters, will have different names, so that way when it's fusion summon you can just nuke the opponent's board. Pretty fucking mental. And then the Charmer links as well, just because they can recur your monsters. Really good to have them. So I've got 2 copies of each of them, as well as 2 copies of Celine, Queen of the Master Magicians. It's link summon. You can place spell counters on this card equals the number of spell traps in the field and in the graveyards. But generally it's not really good unless you've got a stack of spell trap counters. But you can remove during the main phase quick effect. You can remove 3 spell counters to special summon a spellcast monster with your hand or graveyard in defense position to accelerate this card points to. So that's really neat. So I'll throw in 1 of them. Yeah, 1 of them. And then access code talker, just because it's access code talker. And actually, fuck it, we'll make it 3 of the Charmers of the Grand Circle. So yeah, that's what I've done with the structure deck. Overall, unless you're a fan of the Archetype, I wouldn't say the Archetype's playstyle. Get it for the reprints, because Quintet Magician, Zombie Vampire, the Horus cards, Silhouette Rabbit. I'm definitely going to be taking that from my Heka hands, like Chimera Fiendsmith deck that I'm working on. So if you want to see a deck profile for that, let me know, and I will as soon as I have the cards in hand. So yeah, that's really it. Overall, I like what they're doing with these Chronicles decks. They're definitely a new take in the structure decks. I'm really glad we have them. They are a tad expensive. You're talking £15 to £20 per copy of the deck. So you'll be paying about 45 to 60 quid for 3 copies, but that's generally the way you do it with structure decks anyway. But overall, it's not bad. But I'd say definitely the branded one's better. The branded one is definitely better for sure, mainly because branded's all the rage right now, and it's just a better deck overall than Spirit Charmers. It can be quite clunky getting all the attributes out and having everything that you need in the graveyard and on the field and that kind of stuff. But the new cards, the new fusion and the new spell really, really give this deck the power boost that it needs. But I don't see this deck becoming competitive. Maybe it depends on what they mix it with. There's a lot of links in there. People could do something with it, but either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it and you want to see more, make sure you subscribe, comment, share it around, all that good stuff. More Yu-Gi-Oh content to come. Got some killer products in the pipeline with the legendary modern decks, as well as some of the cool sets that are coming out. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Big love, peace out. Mwah.